are these people?
This happened, right? So David McBride's appeal got rejected. If you've been following any of the whistleblower activity, you'll know that this was not great. So McBride's appeal rejected, says Joe Loria. The Australian government whistleblower is headed back to jail with no end of incarceration in sight. He is serving nearly 6 years for leaking documents to the media exposing Australian war crimes in Afghanistan. If you didn't know. So I mentioned this to one of my Australian friends on Discord, who I've just blurred just for privacy reasons, but he replied, "We'll be really disappointed in my country if it doesn't get dropped." Well, welcome to the disappointment, friend. You know? So we've been disappointed for quite a while. But Joe Loria continues, a 3-judge panel at the Supreme Court in Australia's capital Wednesday spent less than 1 minute dismissing all appeals by David McBride, sending the government whistleblower back to prison where he is serving a 6-year sentence for exposing his country's war crimes in Afghanistan. And I'll just start the timer now. McBride appeared only briefly in court and waved to his lawyers, family, and the few supporters who were able to make it into the courtroom. After the judges pronounced their decision, he was whisked off back to the Canberra jail cell, leaving his wife in tears. His attorney and a few supporters were left stunned and ashen-faced as they reeled from the ruling. McBride's next step could be to ask leave of the High Court, Australia's highest court, to hear his case. That could take many months, with no guarantee the appeal will be heard. The Supreme Court on Wednesday seemed to have wanted to minimize the number of McBride supporters in the courtroom, as previous hearings have produced scenes of standing ovations from the packed public gallery. This time, McBride's name and courtroom number were not posted on a large board in the court's lobby, leaving his supporters scrambling to find out where his hearing was. By the time they arrived, McBride and the judges were already gone 3 minutes after the hearing had begun. So, 3 minutes, Collin, that's all they got. But this is from the Trustfall account. So they write, today, Australians' whistleblowing laws utterly failed David McBride again. He is a victim of an inherently corrupt system which is more interested in covering up war crimes and protecting those that expose it. He lost his appeal against the severity of his sentence and against the court's ruling that he was not duty-bound to release the documents. A year ago, former military lawyer McBride was sentenced to 5 years and 8 months jail for leaking war crimes to the media, crimes of murder of innocent people that are very much in the public interest. It is a national disgrace that the only person who is in prison in relation to war crimes in the Afghanistan war is the whistleblower, not the ones who committed the actual crimes. His lawyer said in a statement, "We believe that only the High Court can properly grapple with the immense public interest and constitutional issues at the heart of this case. It cannot be a crime to expose a crime. It cannot be illegal to tell the truth." They are also called for a federal government to pardon McBride. His lawyer said in a statement, "We believe that only the High Court can properly grapple with the immense public interest constitutional issues at the heart of this case. It cannot be a crime to expose a crime." I just read that, didn't I? So McBride's lawyers have flagged they will appeal to the High Court. It is the responsibility of Albanese and the Attorney General to show Australians that this government will no longer jail whistleblowers. Albanese has dragged his feet on fixing our broken whistleblower laws that came into force 11 years ago. The Public Interest Disclosure Act is clearly flawed, exemplified by McBride and also Richard Boyle. So that, Collin, was 3 minutes. That's how much they were given in court. So, like, I didn't think I was going to get through the segment in 3 minutes, let alone an entire fucking court appeal, bro. What? First of all, people didn't even know where the fucking room was. They got there, he was gone. They were like, nah, get the motherfucker out of here. We send him back to jail, sir. Like,
right.
Jesus Christ. Like, Can you imagine that in like the Diddy trial? 3 minutes, they're out. You know what I mean? Like that would fucking be.
In that case, that might be a good thing, depending on how.
Just fucking barely enough time to strike a gavel, dude. Put on a fucking powdered wig. Like, they ain't got no time for that shit. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that, make sure we covered it. Jesus Christ, what a fucking shit world we live in. And talking about whistleblowers like McBride is why we're demonetized. You can scan that QR code, go to ko-fi.com/indienewsnetwork and leave us a few dollary dues. We appreciate it if any of the Australians are watching and want to support us. Otherwise, like and subscribe. Share this video. I know no one's seeing them. Unless you share them, people don't watch. Otherwise, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. How fucked up is this? But, otherwise, have a nice day. Thanks for watching.